Welcome. For those who don't know me, my name is Victoria and I'm a licensed real estate salesperson in New York. And the goal of my videos is to give you guys some information when you're ready to sell or buy real estate. Today we're going to discuss an extremely important topic. I cannot stress it enough. It's so important. We're going to talk about do's and don'ts when you're buying residential real estate property, whether it's an apartment or it's a house. So let's dive in. So do your due diligence. You're buying a real estate property. It might become yours. You will be living there, or it might serve you as an investment. So it's just natural that you will want to know everything about it. Become a private investigator. Become a detective. Become this annoying person who will just want to put their nose everywhere and ask questions and interview neighbors because you want to know. You want to know how financially stable the building is if you're buying an apartment, if there are any assessments, like how often those assessments, how often they happen. If you're buying a house, you want to know if there is an oil tank in the ground. You want to know how much utilities are because that will help to plan your budget. So you want to know every single thing. Also, you might want to check public records to see if there are any future constructions that are being planned. Because you know how they are, like with the constructions, it's noisy, you know, it makes us uncomfortable. So you might not want to live next to a construction site. So those things are important. Make sure that you do research. It will help you in the future and it will help you with making the right decision, because after all, once you find out all that information, you might not even want to buy that particular property. Incorporate a future plan. I know that you are in the present right now, we all are, but definitely think ahead. Have a plan for the next 3 to 5 years, because that will help you to make the right decision as well. Let's say if you're expecting a great promotion, will you be relocating? There is a chance. If you're relocating in a year or maybe 2, then it probably doesn't make sense to buy in this particular neighborhood. Are you planning on having more children, or are you planning on having children? Are you planning on getting married? Like anything, just keep in mind, you know, time flies and it flies very quickly. And it's important for you guys to know, to see where you will be in a few years, because it might help you to make the right decisions or not make those decisions at all. Not only you want to learn everything about a property that you're buying, but you also want to know everything about the neighborhood. And I'm going to tell you things that are going to be very important. Find out if there is a train track nearby, or there is a public transportation. Maybe there is a fire station in the close proximity, or a hospital. Is there a school close by? Is there a football field? You know, things like that are very important. Is there a flight path? You know, those things are noisy, you know, and if you like to be in peace and serenity, then you most likely will be disturbed by the noise and by the sound, you know. And I know people who own those properties, they say, oh my God, I don't even hear that noise, you know, I'm so used to that. But believe me, the noise can be heard, you know. If there is a football field and there are a lot of people screaming and you're trying to get some rest and you're trying to read, it will impact you, you know. If there is a busy intersection and you keep hearing all the cars, you know, passing by, it will affect you. So just make sure you learn the neighborhood and those critical components. Property taxes. So know this thing about property taxes. They will change and most likely they will go up. Property taxes tend to go up just as a matter of fact. And also they are being reassessed based on the price that you have paid for the home. So there will be new price for the tax. So just make sure that you pencil it in your budget. Don't make decisions based on emotions and first impressions. I know that first impressions are very important and they can last. They can last forever. But at the same time, they can be very deceptive. So don't let them fool you. But at the same time, don't be hesitant or don't take too long to make up your mind, because sometimes that can hurt you as well. You know, if you are thinking about a property for way too long, somebody else might just buy it. And then, you know, you might regret. Maybe you won't, but just letting you know. Don't be hesitant or indecisive. When you're looking at properties, look past fancy decorations, look past staging, or, you know, beautiful furniture and everything. You know, a lot of times people just fall in love with everything that is inside of the property and not at the property itself. You know, and I understand, you know, when you walk in and something looks really good, you're thinking like, wow, or you might even say, wow, that looks amazing. But again, you're not buying furniture, you're not buying finishes. For those things, you can shop around. You're buying a property, and it's really important not to be blinded by all those things. Look for good structure and good bones, because those are the most important things. If you are, you know, if you see carpets, sometimes it might be a good idea to look under that carpet to see what's going on there, what kind of condition the floor is. Are there any cracks or anything? Look above, look at the ceilings, see if there are any fresh or maybe older leaks, because that might signal a problem. Keep in mind that one day you will become a seller. And I know, you're just looking to buy right now and you will say, Victoria, please stop. But I won't stop, just because really, once you buy your property, you will become a potential seller. So start thinking like sellers and start thinking what people want to buy. Like really good examples of things that sell are, of course, location, also great views. You know, people are always looking to get those. Convenient neighborhood, and of course, structural things, you know, something that is really great, and of course, lighting. Nobody wants to have any obstructions. Everybody probably, I mean, a lot of people just want to enjoy the sunlight or like a beautiful sunset or anything like that. So lighting is important as well. And those are things that sell. Well, it's no doubt that for everybody, safety is a very important and crucial component. So make sure that you check the crime rates in the particular area where you're looking to buy a property in. I'm going to post some resources that you can go on those websites and you can check the crime rates. Also, if you do have children, it might be a really good idea to check out their schools in the neighborhood and to see their ratings. I will post a great website as well. When you're looking to make that big decision in your life, whether or not to buy a certain property, it is a really good idea to visit that property several times. And I would advise you to do it more than 2 times. Actually, like I would advise you to do it like 3 or even 4 times. Try to do it at different time of the day, like maybe visit it once in the morning and in the evening. Also try to do it during different weekdays, like maybe one weekday and visit it during the weekend as well. And once you do that, keep your eyes open, see what's going on, see how area is, see what's happening, and that will help you to make that decision as well. So this one might sound like a cliche, but it's super important that you do that. When you're ready to buy a property, it's a really good idea to hire a licensed home inspector. I know that their services are not cheap, but it can save you a lot of problems in the future. You know, those people, they know what to look for. They see things with different eyes just because they have so much experience. And licensed home inspector can identify big problems that you might not even want to buy a property. And I've had clients in the past who actually withdrew their offers just because their problems that have arisen based on a home inspection report, they were so multiple that my clients just didn't want to take such a financial burden and to deal with them in the future. So here are some examples. You know, home inspector will usually be able to tell you the condition of the roof. Those are very costly to replace. They will be able to check if there is a termite issue. In Long Island, there is a huge issue with termites. They will be able to check if their electric is up to code, if air conditioners are working properly, and things like that, like hot water tank, boiler, things that cost a lot of money to repair or replace. So just make sure you do that. You know, you might pay a little bit now, but it could save you a lot of money in the future. It's definitely a thing to consider. Never make fed up or sick and tired home purchases. So home buying is a very exciting process, but it's very exciting at the beginning. And you know, as you're progressing, it can become very overwhelming. Sometimes it can become frustrating. You know, what if you're not able to find the house of your dreams or something decent, you know? I definitely don't want you to buy just because you're tired of looking and you just want to buy anything. Don't do that because you might regret. Also, don't buy panicking. You know, I'll give you a scenario. Like, for example, you found a beautiful house or a beautiful apartment, you're making an offer, and the next thing you know is that there is someone else who outbids you. Okay, that's fine. There will be another one. So another one comes and the same situation happens again. And then you're getting like into this panicky mode. You're going to think that, oh my God, what's going to happen? What if it happens to every property that I make an offer on? What if there is always someone who outbids me? Definitely don't think like that. The first thing you need to do is to breathe. And relax. It's not the end of the world. It happens. There will be other properties, I promise you. Apartments, houses, they come on the market all the time. So if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. You will find your property. That will happen. So another big thing is to separate wants from needs. We want it all. I think it's a human nature, and when you start looking for an apartment or for a house, you have the entire list of things you want, you know, and you're hoping to get them all, but in reality, that's not going to happen. Yes, a dream house or a dream apartment exists, but it's probably way over your budget. Or maybe it doesn't even have it all. So make sure that you create a list of things that you really must have. You need to have them in order just to, you know, function, to enjoy the property, to be happy. And create a list of things that you would love to have, but you are able to compromise on them. That will be very, very helpful, because as you are searching and searching and searching, you will remember my advice. Another big mistakes that a lot of home buyers make, whether those are first-time home buyers or experienced home buyers, is just to pass on a great opportunity too early in the search. You know, like we all probably heard the stories that it takes forever to find a really great property and to buy something. And sometimes when, let's say, you are able to find something relatively quickly, maybe within a few weeks of the search, you would think, oh, that sounds too good to be true, or maybe there will be something better that will come along. But in reality, that might never happen. So definitely consider that as well. Always trust your instincts. I know that you're probably making the largest purchase in your entire life, and real estate is costly, and you definitely want to get other opinions. You know, you will want your parents to see the property, you want your friends to see the property, you want your coworkers to see the property, like anyone, you know, you can think of. But, you know, it just, when you have too many opinions, that might become very confusing, because everybody will have their own opinion. So I'm not saying not to share the property or not to show the property to your loved ones. Definitely do that. But maybe do not show it to your mom's second cousin's best friend, you know, because that might be irrelevant at all, you know. So definitely, when you're faced with too many different opinions, trust your instincts, trust your gut. You're the ones who are buying the property, you're the ones who are going to be living in that. So that's important that you like it and not anybody else. Is, do not let your heart rule your head. It's almost like dating, you know, when you're in love, it doesn't mean that it's always good for you. It's same with real estate property. You know, you might fall in love with certain things, you know, you might look past just the property itself. You might fall in love with this beautiful chandelier, or you might fall in love with beautiful finishes in the kitchen or remodeled bathroom. But those things are not as important. What's important is, again, it's just like good bones and great structure. Those that you need to concentrate on. Also, when you're just beginning to look at properties and you haven't seen too many of them yet, don't get discouraged when something that you see online and the same thing that you see in person are totally different. You know, with the right lighting, with the right angles, with the right decor and staging and everything, properties can look really amazing online, but in reality, not so much. So just keep that in mind and never get discouraged, you know. Maybe the next thing that you think might not look too good in real life, it actually will. Don't disqualify some of the properties just because they don't look good to you. Always look for a potential. If you're willing to do some work, if you're willing to do renovation, a really beaten up property can be a real treasure. Just make sure that you check zoning and restrictions. But if they're allowed, let's say if there is a huge lot and you're buying a house, you're probably able to expand or maybe add a floor. So definitely give some properties a chance. And the last do, and it actually should be the first one, but I decided to leave it for a dessert, it's a financial qualification. Just make sure that you get pre-qualified, especially if you are thinking about borrowing money, if you're getting a mortgage, because you will be able to find out how much of a house you can afford. And sometimes reality and expectations, they are much different things. You might think that you are able to afford a more expensive place, but in reality, you will have to compromise because bank will not lend you that money. So it's really good if you do that, get pre-qualified. It will save you a lot of time, it will save you a lot of frustration, and you will start from the beginning looking at correct properties that are within your budget. So that's it for today. I really hope that this video was informational for you, that you enjoyed it. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you don't want to miss any other videos. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and I'm wishing you best of luck in your search. If you're looking to sell or buy real estate in New York, hit me up because I might be able to help you. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon.